Hi, hello. Can you hear me? Just a second.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you well.
So actually, I guess it's 7 o'clock over there, right?
Yeah, it's
Maybe
6:30,
it's
nearly
30.
6:30.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's too early to wake up on Sunday, I guess.
that's completely fine.
So, how are you? How is your life going?
It's good. It's good. It's really nice. How are you?
Yeah, I am good too. How is weather over there? It's cold or it's not so cold?
Yesterday it was really cold, so it was like nearly 1 or 2 degrees, and it's snowing in nearby areas. So yes, it's really cold.
Yeah. So actually, I send you your questions or type of topics, but I
Yeah, that's
guess
completely
you
fine.
received when you were
Yeah, I
sleeping, I
did.
guess.
But still, I just went through it, and I think I can answer them.
So, since how long are you there? And when did you finish your TISS graduation
I
masters?
completed my tests from like in 2020, 2022 batch. So that's from 2020 to 2022. And then it's just recently that I've moved to Bonn. Like this
Okay.
is my second month. But yeah, it's going good.
So means did you visit the campus because of
Yeah.
Corona? Oh,
No, like we go to campus. We have our classes. Like we had our classes, some part of our classes in campus. It is.
uh-huh. So how
Rest is
how what did you do in your bachelor's?
To begin with, I did my graduation in geography honors from Miranda House, University of Delhi, and it was a really good course. And it also provides you a general elective option. So my general elective was sociology,
Hmm.
and it was really a good combination, to be honest.
Uh-huh. And I guess geography graduates or students also go for IIPS, right? Population.
Yes, IIPS, it's a really good institute, and they also provide you with a stipend.
Mhm.
So this is really nice. They give a lot of career options, and it is an international institute. So yes, you have quite a lot of exposure from, like you learn from the best faculty available in the particular subject.
And I have also seen that in TISS there are a lot of students from like LSR or DU or maybe Jamia or Miranda, or we can say a lot of top colleges. Mostly students are from there in TISS. So
Yes,
how is
quite a
your,
lot of them.
yeah.
Yes, this is mainly because of we heard about this from our seniors, and that's how things happen. You just pass on the information from one student to another, and
Mhm.
that is something the best part about DU, I guess, or any other institution where the like people share the information. They just do not keep it limited to themselves, but they talk about it. Like we had our seniors coming over to the campus and telling how to clear the exam because this
Mhm.
clearing this is a 3 level thing, right? You have to clear the test net, then pre-interview test, and then the interview. So there was a continuous like guidance from my seniors, like how to do it. So probably that's the main reason why people from DU or might be other colleges are able to clear the exam.
And I guess a lot of these colleges also go for like Teach for India and these kind of fellowship programs as well. I have
Yes,
seen.
yes, yes. This is also because I get like the social environment which you get,
Yeah.
you tend to give back to society. You
Yeah.
understand what the problems are, where the loopholes are, and try your level best to provide what you can in that particular area. Because Teach for India, there are quite a lot of people who I know are doing the fellowship. They were doing the fellowship for 2 years, and they really enjoyed it. Like
Yeah.
enjoyed being with students and telling them how learning can be fun because in most of the cases learning isn't fun. Like Indian education does not provide learning and fun altogether, but
Yeah.
in schooling if you get it, you generally have this feeling of this learning is fun and I can study. You do not see study as something boring, but instead you enjoy reading, learning. So that's the main concept.
So actually, in so I'm from Gujarat. So a lot of I have seen that a lot of students from MS University in Baroda, they know about this all kind of fellowship program or this kind of courses, or they also go for maybe Jamia or DU. Uh, but in other case, a lot of people don't know about that. So that's why my interest is to kind of provide more information, about these other options, because most people go for either engineering or prepare for CA, and since last maybe few years they started to preparing for UPSC exams as well. Otherwise, nobody go for that kind of
That's
thing.
really a good like initiative. I really appreciate it because honestly, like in India, it's quite a lot of stigma to take humanities.
Yeah.
At least it was when I took it back in 2015, I guess, and I was.
And
Everyone comes up from a social family where you have people taking
pressure to
up
go for
science.
either medicine or engineering or maybe accounting. 3-4 options they have.
Yes, yes, yes.
And actually in TISS, they are since last maybe 7-8 years they are keep adding more and more courses. So people also people who have a sociology background, they know exact difference, but people from other field, maybe from engineering, medicine, they are a little bit confused. Why this, why that? There are a lot of maybe 40 plus courses, so there are a lot of confusion in people as well.
Yes,
So
yes,
that
it
is
is.
also, and most people think that I will go for HRM for package, and for the backup plan they choose 2 more courses, maybe development studies or maybe that globalization labor relationship. I think that course also changed their name. So
Yes.
this kind of thing also happen. So actually I
Yeah.
heard about disaster management in my life. There is one institute in Ahmedabad.
GIDM.
Yeah. So I first time I heard about disaster management thing over there. Later on I search. So second I see this TISS course. So how is means GIDM, and what is the difference in approach, as well as TISS Guwahati? Sorry, not TISS, IIT Guwahati also have some. I don't know. They are doing research or
MSc in
masters, or
disaster.
I don't know.
MSc in disaster management.
When did they start? Do you know anything?
It is all very like IIT Guwahati started it recently, I guess, because when I was doing my when I filled in for masters, it was IIT Guwahati was offering development studies in that case, just development studies in that case, and IIT Guwahati, I didn't think that they had the option. It's very recent, but TISS they've started way back in early 2000s, so like 2005 or 2006. So that's a pretty old, it was India's first institution to provide MSc in disaster management. So works well because TISS has all the people who were expert already in the subject and they came together to formulate a course. So
Is
yes.
this a technical type of course, or it's a kind of technical plus management kind of course? Do you need maths to study this?
Honestly, it's a very interesting course to be it has a lot of interdisciplinary thing that comes into picture. It has an aspect of science and technology because people in this are not just from humanities background. You have people from sciences, maths background, chemistry, everything all together, coming together. So my class had engineers, computer science, mechanical, then civil, and quite a lot of it. There was an integration of students. So it's a very interdisciplinary course. There's no prerequisite which you need, particularly just in case you're coming new. So it has aspects of science, it has humanities aspect, development studies and whatnot that comes together, and then you're able to do. And later this course, it's a 2 years master's. So first year is a general course which is compulsory for all the students, and later it's 3 specializations which they offer. One is disaster policy and action, in which you try to understand how the policy frameworks and things, like how can you contribute to it, what are the ways of writing policy briefs, etc. Second one is development and disasters. It talks about various concepts of development and disaster which happens at a conjuncture, and then it talks about cultures and stuff. And the third one is science and technologies and disaster management. So it talks about remote sensing and GIS, how can the satellite imagery be used, landslide detection, early warning system. So it's a quite diverse course and people have a choice of opting for other courses. It's not that if you're not part of that particular class, you cannot sit. You can, if you're free, you definitely have the option to opt for an extra course just in case you need that information, or maybe you want to write an exam for it. So TISS also provides you with that option. That's the best part.
So means, is there any kind of subject like a maths kind of calculation kind of subjects? Because a lot of students who studied arts, actually they to prepare for TISS, they get in touch with maths, but still,
Yeah.
some people have concern that
And
do I need to study maths again? Like this kind of.
um, honestly, you do not want. It's a research oriented course, so just in case you want to go for quantitative methods, and that also you do through softwares. After getting into TISS, you don't need maths quite a lot of it, like for disaster management thing, not quite a lot of it, but just in case if you want to do a quantitative analysis of a particular thing, might be your mathematics should be good enough. That would provide a good analysis of your subject or the topic you've chosen.
And means we say, so how was your thinking at 12th standard? Means what did you have desire? And one more thing that we are watching different kind of movies, like Earth is going to crash, or some volcano is coming, or maybe Earth center is gravity center is changed, or a different kind of virus attacks, cyber attack, or these kind of things. So which are now started to we are getting related this thing. Two major thing which we used to see since maybe 2000 or things like that, like cyber attack, scarcity of water resources are going to be destroyed, like drinkable water.
Yes.
And virus attack we experience, we are
And
not
Lumit.
ready for that.
Yeah.
So this kind of maybe case study you have study in your course.
Yes, we do. Honestly, to start with my 12th standard, I've done it from Hyderabad. So I was in an IAS academy by Sri Chaitanya, and like it was in eighth or ninth, I was very determined that science and maths is something that I'm not interested to, and I was in BITS Pilani till 10th standard, BITS Pilani, Rajasthan. It also has a residential school, so you one of the you residential schools for both girls and boys separately, but they provide you with really good support and information on the different subjects. And honestly, like they never criticize you for taking humanities, or thinking about taking to humanities, going towards the humanitarian side, or might be anything you will like, because in BITS Pilani, I realized like in the boarding school, the teachers were so nice to you that they just encouraged you to do what you like. It was never forced that you should take science, you should take arts, or might be. There were career counseling sessions, might be teacher used to talk to you that what do you want to go ahead with it. But it was never forced on people that you're good in studies, you should take science or something of that sort. So this was a pretty liberal thing, and my parents were not into that you should take science or something. So I was clear with my mindset that I do not want to study sciences or maths. So I specifically shifted to history, economics, and geography as my major subjects in 11th and 12th, because these were the things that I used to enjoy. And out of all, I was pretty much interested in history and geography, because economics again had some aspect of mathematics. And later I did get into DU, like after clearing the cutoffs, I did get to all the colleges in DU, so that was the best part I could do. And I did clear cutoffs for history as well, but I did not feel like pursuing a career in history, but rather I saw geography as a very dynamic subject which could be applied, like the understanding could be applied in the contemporary world. So this was one of the subjects which provided me with the best opportunities to explore how human environment relationships exist all over the surface and how it is changing over the time. And geography was a very different subject from what history is, and it also has various job prospects, to be honest, because geography is a mixture of natural sciences and human sciences. You always tend to find some kind of employment in that sector. And also remote sensing and GIS is a pretty good option. You get paid well. You need to have experience, but still you get paid well in that field as well. And in my graduation days, we had this voluntary team of disaster preparedness team. So this is the place where I actually came across how disaster happen, how are we like going to mitigate it? How are we going to respond to it? And then when I worked with visually challenged students, I realized that this is the field I really want to contribute in, because we are really lacking behind. And after I decided it, I did have good guidance from my seniors, and I started to think that I should go for TISS, or I might be development studies in IIT Guwahati, which is somewhat related to social work. So yeah, these were my main goals.
Mhm. So I guess since last few years, lot of IIT and other engineering colleges also started psychology courses as well as social science courses, management
Yes.
courses as well. So they are also as well as designing courses. So they are also expand their aura, just not just stick to engineering. They also
Yes,
try to
this is really
diversify.
nice. Even after completing my masters, I did have the option of going for PhDs and IITs. IIT Delhi provides it. Like one of my friends, she completed her masters from JNU, which
Okay.
is another great institute, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then she's currently just 23, and she's enrolled in a IIT Delhi PhD program, so which is
Okay.
an achievement in itself. So after doing political science, you also have an option of doing IIT, like PhD at IIT.
They're also
So
having some entrance exam, right, to get into
yeah,
PhD.
I think there's a research proposal and everything you need to work out on specifically first, because you need to pitch in something. And also might be like, I'm not aware of that, but JNU has a entrance thing. Otherwise, you have to clear UGC net in
Hmm.
your particular subject. And disaster management is not a separate subject. You have to give either geography, environmental sciences, either of them. Also, management studies. You can give net for management studies as well if you do disaster management. So it is a subject that you can, that opens three doors for you. You can go in any field you choose to go.
Since last few years, there are a lot of content is spreading, like especially for like IIT or life of IAS, life of this and that. So people join these coaching institutes, so they have concern that a person get 1 crore placement and this placement and that placement. So basically, whenever so people having this kind of mindset, what are they going to earn? Even I have also seen that a lot of IITians who are not studying computer science, so when they see computer science students are getting good packages, so they are either from any field like mechanical engineering or maybe civil, they started to sit in these placements. Like people want big package. So how is disaster management help in this thing? Maybe not as a fresher, but slowly. And is there any kind of international placement as well
Yes,
started
there
in
are
TISS?
many.
Because I
Uh,
guess TISS don't provide directly, so they have student body. They approach different
yeah,
companies and
we do have placement cells, and honestly, this provides with quite a lot of skill set where you can pursue your career in research, or might be as a UX designer, UX researcher, or anything like as a crisis and resilience, disaster recovery and analyst, something of that sort. I because I have known people who have worked in international organizations like Oxfam. That's an international humanitarian organization. So there are placements, there are a lot of options which people have, which they want to pursue. But it's mainly the NGO sector, to be honest. It's mainly the social work sector which we talk about, and this is mainly because disaster management in India is not very new and not very highly paid. Although the average packages is around 7 or 8 LPA per annum, like LPA. So that is good for starting, I guess. That's how equivalent to something that might be in a normal engineering college. But the aspect here is that you contribute to something that is valuable, like you're contributing to social welfare, you're talking to talking to people, going around working for them. And honestly, going to social work, social sciences is not easy. You know what the realities are, but still you choose to go. So that's something that I would like to highlight, that even research institutes, they provide enough for your needs. But if you like want a
Luxury to
very
live
luxurious
with
life,
big cars, big houses, so it's not for social science is
yeah,
not for them maybe.
is because on like it's not that it depends from case to case. How do you interlink yourself? How do you try to manage your time? And honestly, like if you go ahead with like I have known seniors who are working with Deutsche Bank
Mm-hmm.
and in the recovery team, disaster resilience team,
Mm-hmm.
and they are earning pretty well. So that's not the case. That varies from person to person, and there are people who are working for international organizations, ICRO, that's another thing for disaster management. So it's just that how capable you are in your field, because you have computer science engineers from a normal private engineering college, and you have computer science engineers from IIT. So there's always a difference between students, and you might have a good product from a private college as well. So that's the student's effort which one puts. That's completely your capabilities, your approach, your learning capacity, and how do you portray that learning, and how you're able to communicate to that interviewer that you're capable enough to, match the requirement which the company has.
And which kind of organization? Because I also know one person he was studying in IIT and also study in IIM, then go to Japan to work in Toyota. So actually he volunteered in one biologist. So his name is Miyawaki something. So from there he learned how to protect your earth from tsunami, as well as how to how to stop expanding desert and things like that. So actually he learned about multi-layer forestation over there. So he liked that idea so much. So he started his NGO and started working in the field of planting trees, but in a corporate way. So maybe
Yeah.
you know about his name is Shubhendu Sharma or something like that.
Okay.
So I guess
So might be I'll definitely read about him. Like
right now
just
he's planting trees because of he started the concept of Miyawaki in India. So after some years, right now there are lots and lots of people are aware about Miyawaki forest. So as an example, a lot of people are or a lot of NGOs or activists are planting trees in different places. But right now, because of him, they started to plant this kind of multi-layer forest. They changed their agenda to save the earth or kind of thing.
Yeah, social entrepreneurship is an option after the social sciences. So that's the best part, I guess. You realize where the problems are and you know where the gap is. And if you're creative enough, you have funds, because entrepreneurship is given weightage. Especially in India, you have funds like available, like the loans available for a social idea, which is good enough to provide a lot of people, not a lot, if it has the capacity to make an impact. You honestly, people do like your idea and they do invest in it. So I feel like one of my classmate was working on a startup, so which is really nice. This
Is there any
is
kind
really
of organization you go for internship, or how is your experience
there are
with field
quite a
work?
lot of them.
And we
There are
have one
quite a
more
lot
thing.
of them.
One more thing. How many means where are you from exactly, and how many languages do you speak? Because I guess in social work field, you can work better when you know local language. You can
Yes,
communicate with
yes,
people. If
yes.
you don't know that their language, it's not possible to connect with them.
Yeah, language becomes a thing. For like, I'll come to this internship part first. TISS provides you with a lot of opportunities, and TISS provides you with an environment where information is disseminated among the people. Like there is a specific class group generally, like which my batch had for information. Like if there's an internship position available, if there's a paper presentation coming up, if there's some event webinar being hosted which is of use, so you generally put that information on the group so that people know about it and they join it. So this is the best part about this. You help each other grow. You don't stop their ways, but you help each other grow, which is rare, but yes, people do help it. And like the opportunity I talk about, like being in UNU, I got this opportunity through a WhatsApp, like this particular group, because one of my classmates did send this link on the group that this is a university which, you can go ahead with. This is also a career option just in case you want to go ahead with that. So there are quite a lot of internships available with a lot of institutions. I did my internship from Coventry University in UK. So like that was a remote thing, but yeah, it provides you with a lot of like these institute, like the institute has tie-ups with Pradhan, another social work company, CSR box, whatsoever, in whichever way you want to apply, the disaster management cells of the states. You can do your internship there. You can apply on personal level and get letters of recommendation from your professors, just in case you want to do it by the end of the first year. And there's also a compulsory internship. I did my compulsory internship in a transboundary river governance project, which was being done by the institute itself. So which provided me with quite a lot of learning, because it was a project which was being done at Nepal. And it was really a good thing to learn about. And there are two internships which you do. There's internship one, which is on field, where you go to the office to work on that, and you given a specific topic according to your interest. You're not forced in any internship. They provide you with list of institutions. You can give your institution as well if you're interested in something that's very particular, according that matches your interest. So you can definitely tell the coordinator that you want to go for this institute. They'll try to contact the specific person from that institute and then get you as an intern over there. So the teachers are very helpful. They provide you with information that these are the options available. That really depends on how you want to go ahead with it. And coming to the language thing, I am from Shimla, but I've been brought up in Amritsar. And I've stayed in like boarding schools throughout my life. So I know quite a lot of languages. I'm fluent in Hindi, English, like Marwari, and then Punjabi. I know what amount of Telugu, so it works well for me.
Did you learn Marathi?
And now I'm learning German. Huh?
Did you learn Marathi?
It was a very short time and I couldn't learn Marathi, but I would have loved to if I had time.
So means, did you go to any village for kind of field work or something like that? How was your
Yes, I have my field work in Run of Kutch, Bhujodi village, and Ajrakpur, where I was working on the sustainable livelihood thing of the artisans in that particular village, because they're known for their weaving and stuff. And I was mainly understanding the water scarcity aspect of impact on their livelihood. And my second fieldwork was in Kullu and Manali, like Kullu Mandi district of Himachal Pradesh. So I was working on risk perception. How do people culturally understand risk? What are the ways they perceive risk according to their cultural environment? How do the information is processed in that way? So it was quite a lot of focus group discussions, interviews, but human interaction was
kind of like, maybe you are from city and you go to village. So is there any kind of...
I did not have that much problem, but in language is a barrier somewhere I felt in Run of Kutch. Himachal was something that I knew, like the language was something that I knew, but in the Bhujodi area, there was some sort of language barrier. But like when you talk to women, which older women, they tend to just talk and then you need a particular translator for your research that someone is trying to communicate, and there's not always a correct or the same information provided in English. So like if I communicate something in Hindi, that might be more clear to you, and if I translate that particular thing in English, that might not be of much use. So yeah, that becomes a barrier.
I guess a lot of what do you say, activists, when they go for maybe Africa or somewhere, they this kind of a region, or maybe for the maybe news, for research, either maybe they learn language or they find some local who can always stay with him to communicate with people, I guess.
Yeah, the gatemans are important in research.
Yeah, because as an example, in India there are a lot of languages. How many languages we can learn? It's not kind of possible thing.
Yeah.
So, what was your dissertation topic? Is it
My dissertation topic was disaster, uncertainty, and culture, where I understand how religion influences your risk perception at some point of time, and how does that, how do people relate themselves during the time of crisis? And this was something I worked on, and I understood how it helps to, generalize or might be things that happen during a disaster, and what do you exactly do during the time of crisis. So that was
which
something I
kind of
worked
case
on.
study did you study? Did you discuss it? You
Case
did a
study.
study.
I like there were quite a lot of case studies, national, international, because in this you have quite a lot of assignments. Assignments in the sense group works or individual works where you work on different topics, and every subject, like there's a whole lot of courses which you do, and each course provides you with one specific case study which you want to do. Like there's a paper on like coursework on disaster, like public health and mental health during disasters. So in that particular paper I worked on how there's a difference between the swine flu pandemic and COVID pandemic. What were the loopholes during COVID that it spread so much, and swine flu was still a better one when compared to COVID. So I compare, so I take two particular case studies and then I draw similarities, differences. So that's what comes into picture in this. You become a critical analyst. And some, like we did work on oil spills and whatnot. It was a very exhaustive course, to be honest. Like, it's very intensive. You work on different case studies for all the courses. So you have a lot of, by the end of your masters, you have quite a lot of case studies to talk about.
And what is the difference in studying or teaching in India, or maybe with TISS, compared to what you are studying right now?
It's a student-teacher ratio, might be.
Uh-huh.
But student-teacher ratio was very similar in masters when I did it from TISS. But it might be the resources which people have here. Also, it's UN, so they have all the resources very nicely. Like you have the computer systems, you have all the like everything is pretty easily available. You just have to mail them and you get it done. You need a laptop, you need any assistance, they're always there. Like there's a specific person, a student assistant, to be honest, and this person is someone you can always go to, that I have this problem. You just write a mail and the work is done. But in India this becomes a problem because there are a lot of people, the resources are very less, the computer systems which you have are pretty old. But it's good that TISS provides you with all the software which you need,
But
like
actually,
the,
TISS
the
cannot provide
license.
laptop, I guess, because fees are very
They
less.
do.
They do
Yeah,
provide laptops.
they do provide. If you write a mail that you really need a laptop and you do not have one, TISS provides you one.
Mhm.
Yeah, TISS provides you one, because in lockdown, in COVID, they literally delivered those laptops to people's places, like their homes.
Oh,
So yeah, TISS has done quite a lot.
that is interesting. So is it free study over there, or you need to pay
It
anything?
is free. I just need to pay 100 euros. 100 euros, that's 8,000 INR, which is okay. Like I don't think it's quite a
Is
lot
it a
when
1 year
compared
course
to.
or 2 year course?
It's a 2-year degree. It's an like M.Sc in environmental risks and human security. So this was something, I guess human security aspect was something that I'm really keen to learn. So yeah.
So how many
I went
hours
to
you study in TISS every day, and how many hours like a lecture kind of thing, because of
TISS,
pandemic things are online, but in general.
yeah, TISS has a lot of papers, but like a lot of papers in the sense you have in first and second semester you have quite a lot of papers. Like there was a semester in which we had 10 or 11 papers altogether, and in like at present I have less papers comparatively.
Like, do you
But
go to
this,
university for 1 or 2 hours every day, or
yeah, in this it was like 6 hours per day in a like in a classroom, 6 hours, nearly 6 hours per day in classroom. Whereas here it's very like I'm free comparatively. I am free. I just have two the lectures for 2.5 hours, 2 hours, so I can just go take my class, come back, and we do get offered positions as student assistants. So works well for me. Totally fine.
so actually, what is the cultural difference? Yeah, do you know German language? Did you learn it, or
I am with A1, A2 level, but I would go ahead with B1, B2.
it's in which language are you studying in your
It's
university?
English taught, but in Germany you need to learn German because of your like daily life. It's basically German and German. You need to communicate
Basically,
with
you
locals.
don't have a lot of financial burden, so you like to go for a job, or you don't need it, like PhD
At
study in
present,
Canada, US,
like in UN you do get the student assistant job, so I've just joined it. So like not the student assistant job, but you do get opportunities to work as a research assistant, and like you get to add it in your CV. So I think that's the best part about studying here, that you have exposure to one of the best projects, teammates, and everything that goes around. So yeah, but yes, there are opportunities. You have opportunities, and moreover you have opportunities to get a project funding and stuff. So yes, there's quite a lot of things that go around and go on. Yeah,
means what
altogether
kind of thing do you want to do? Like, do you want to go
I prefer going
for
for
PhD, or some join some company, or
I prefer at present I really want to go ahead with work experience because I do not have any at present. I just done like I just did my masters there and I came for my second masters. So I think I should have a work experience first and then go for my PhD. And if you have work experience, I prefer you like for 2 years you get the DART scholarship. So that pays you like 850 euros, nearly 850 euros per month, which is quite a lot because like depends on the location. But a place where I am staying, the expenditure is nearly 700 euros. So works.
so is this a kind of student apartment, or which kind of things?
Uh, I have been provided accommodation by the university. Like they help me find an accommodation. They've done everything, right from my city registration, finding an accommodation, visa, everything. They've helped me throughout. So like a lot of universities do not do that. They were constantly in touch and they were asking that what kind of help do you need. So they've done almost everything for me, and I'm really happy with that because quite a lot of universities do not provide you with assistance, but UNU did provide me with quite a lot of the application procedure was it lasted for a year, I guess, like less than a year, but almost a year. So it's it takes time to get in, and once you're in, they take the pain that you find everything, like every comfort once you come here.
I guess maybe that's why a lot of people like to study in Germany, because
It's not all the German universities, but this mine university they helped me quite a lot.
and I guess TISS also provide a lot of student exchange programs, right?
Yeah, they do.
So is there any of your friends? I guess maybe pandemic they didn't go.
And yeah, because of the pandemic, our batch was very different.
Yeah. Otherwise, what is the selection procedure? I guess mostly people who don't go and fail over there, they want to send those kind of students. So their main criteria, first criteria is
Backlogs.
yeah.
But I feel it's not specific. You can just apply and you get the form, and if you were interested, you can just apply for it. Yeah.
I guess that is also very good exposure in TISS. You can because of they have big network of around the world.
The alumni thing is very strong, I guess. They just help you. Your classmates help you grow.
And I have also seen that a lot of students go for when they go for work, they join some livelihood programs in different. What kind of jobs they have in livelihood programs, or we can say
You generally get a program manager. Huh?
if you go for work, what will your daily life or day-to-day activities? Maybe you cannot guess, but you can generally you can
Okay,
share some.
so there are two prospects to it. First is working in the social sector, and another one is working in the corporate sector, because there are a lot of people who work in CSRs or like CSR department of various companies. That's still a field job. And in MNCs, you do get a crisis and resilience department, of course, management, disaster management department. Like, there is a specific resilience area where you can apply and you have a desk job, whereas there are people who are working in the fields. Like, one of my friends is in Mizoram right now, so he's like, there's a cultural shock for him because he is from Kolkata, where there's a lot of people and for Mizoram it's very less. So yeah, there is quite a lot of distinctions, but it's nice that until like till you enjoy your work, till you enjoy giving back to the society, you will enjoy social work. And in field work is something like you try to just do whatever possible best option there is. Yeah. And field work varies. On days there'll be a lot of work, and on some days you'll be relatively free. So that's completely on the work you get, the project you're working on. Depends on which company you're working with, because some agencies they hire, like they give you the project, being the social startup or social organization, they give you the project and you're the one who has to implement it further. So just in case you're in that, you need to see what are the project specifications, and that decides your workload. So it varies. Depends on the project you're employed in.
But I guess, for example, in some places, if some company produce some maybe technical gadgets, so maybe you need to go and spread awareness, organize meetings,
Yeah, that's quite a lot of work.
or maybe just organize some fundraising events, or
Fundraising events or events.
impact analysis. First of all, awareness, impact analysis, and all this kind of thing. So some field work as well. So maybe over there you need to learn, you have knowledge of local language, and you collect all data, transfer in English, or this kind of thing you need to do.
Report writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I guess.
yeah. You have to like. It depends. It actually depends, because at times you have to communicate the like if there's a program going on, like there's a program by IBM, I guess, in which my friend is working. They have a specific portal which, as a part of the CSR, they have a program which provides free certificate courses to people, like skill enhancement courses. So my friend is going to different colleges and just telling about the platform that exists as a part of IBM's policy, CSR policy. So he just goes to he just goes, talks to people, talks to student about how things can be managed, how skill is important, and how there's a free platform for you to just create an ID and go ahead with the skill you want to learn. And skill is the various options available. So I was very impressed when I heard this.
I guess.
So yeah.
This kind of thing, like they are
Pradanya.
producing content. They are also organizing different events like a food festival, or organizing awareness about some crop related information, woman related information.
Pradhan is a really good organization. So yeah.
Create some booklets. So later on they train local people, and so basically maybe if you go there, so I guess that attack, how we call, what is the English of Tidda?
Locust.
Locust, yes. So that is also kind of disaster.
Yeah, locust attacks are a disaster.
So is there any way these farmers can resist this
There's like it depends on the mechanism of the particular state, how it wants to address it, and that's something that the DM cell or like the district management DDM authority looks into, like how do they want, because everyone's response would vary according to the resources they have, the funds they have, so it varies from state. Government has to government plays a very important role when there's a response, although the community is the first responder, but it becomes very essential how your governance system works in that particular state, because in Odisha we have a cyclone, but we have a really good disaster management cell, like a well-established disaster management cell, so they try that there is less loss of life. And now Gujarat is facing, like, there was a paper I worked on and I presented it. So we work on how the Arabian Sea cyclones are on rise because of climate change. There's a sea rise, surface temperature rise, and how the fishermen community on the western coast is being impacted, and how like we have really big cities. Mumbai is a really big city, and if Mumbai is at a hazardous location, like in the proximity of a cyclone, the loss could be immense. So quite a lot of things to do, quite a lot of like a way forward.
As an example, when there is one prediction happened, like in 2012, Earth will be destroyed or something like that. There are a lot of companies started to selling different kind of evacuation products, like different kind of lifeboats and this and that, to survival yourself. This kind of things also maybe kind of good startup, I don't know.
That depends, but that's more of a capitalism, I guess. Like, yeah. So it really depends. Like people find an opportunity over it, so that's different.
So is there any kind of technical aspect, like is there any kind of gadgets? Okay, I guess a earthquake people can identify.
Earthquake, IIT Roorkee is working on earthquake early warning systems. IIT Roorkee. So that's more of an engineering thing, and I suggest you that I'll give you some other reference. You can all like talk to that person about this. He is working on it. Like he has good research skills. I just heard him from a seminar. So yeah, they are working, and the project is going really well for the early warning of earthquakes.
People who study from we can say disaster management, they utilize this the research and knowledge, and they deliver it and get output, create feedback, and we can say this kind of thing is main part.
Yes, they do, because as a disaster management professional, you work in different phases of disaster. You work in preparedness phase, like mitigation phase, and then when there's a disaster, you respond to that disaster, and then there's this recovery phase. So it's a circular process. When you've recovered, you work again for preparedness, and then it goes in a circle that once it's over, it's again coming over. You identify your loopholes. There's a feedback mechanism. You try not to repeat the same mistake which you did last time. So yeah, quite a lot of. Yeah, it's government as well as private.
But kind of maybe big firm who can working on this kind of service providing.
The humanitarian organizations, they do hire you. Like recently, the Himachal floods, there were flash floods in Himachal as well, Kullu Mandi districts of Himachal. So I really don't know. I guess it's an NGO. It's a US based NGO. I really don't remember the name, I'm so sorry, but they were the ones who immediately responded to the crisis, and which was really nice, because one of my senior worked, and there's a whole net of networks which help. So she took number from I gave a reference of a news reporter who was doing the news reporting over there. She contacted him for the humanitarian relief which was to be provided in the area, what were the requirements. So the need assessment was done with the like my senior did the need assessment, and then the humanitarian assistance, the things which people needed were distributed among the people by raising funds, and so that's really nice.
I guess TC also involves a lot of this kind of
Yes, they are.
real world research or data collection, or I guess
Yes, our
it's getting
teachers, our professors, our professors, they're very professional. Like they have years of experience in disaster management, social work. They've been working, when I was in TISS, my dean was Professor Janki Andharia, and she has contributed quite a lot to social work. She studied from TISS and now she's a dean, so she's always been into social work and has been she was an active volunteer during the Bhuj earthquake. So, and there are quite a lot of times when our professors genuinely go there, study, and TISS has this team which goes during the time of disasters. So yeah.
So, what would you like to say to young graduates who want to go in this field? What are
I
how
would.
to motivate them? Because
Okay,
some
as
people have
a
a placement concern, but you can also convince them placement is not always the thing.
honestly, if you love your work, you'll find a good placement anyhow, somewhere. Like you have the knowledge, you will enjoy what you're doing, and you will find work that makes you happy. And happiness is more important than wealth.
Yeah,
I feel that. And moreover, like I don't think this field has enough for your needs. Like you're not stranded somewhere completely unemployed. Anyhow, you get employed in some sector, and you're always growing in your career. People do not generally move back. You're always growing. So you need to start at some point, but looking at the future, you will grow. That's another aspect. And coming to the field of disaster management, why you should go for it? It is because you have the potential to save lives, which is really great. You have the ability to assist others regarding what has to be done, what should be done, and how it is supposed to be done in a manner that the person remembers you throughout life, that this person has helped me in this particular situation. Or might be, during the time of crisis, how did you respond to the crisis? So that becomes important. And even if placement is not a criteria, if you really want to work for people and just provide them with basic information, awareness, sensitizing them, going around, so yes, it is a good field, and you have employment opportunities. You're never unemployed in this field, I guess.
I guess this has to be the part of everybody's life. Since last maybe
Yeah, it is like
we are facing
it's not since 2000. Yeah,
still if we last maybe 20 years. So
COVID made the word disaster engraved in our minds, and we're like, yes, it's a disaster.
yeah, a lot of tsunami, as you say, a lot of
Tsunami, floods, landslides.
landslides. So actually, young generation also have to think about it, think about it, and also
Yes,
everybody have to act on this thing and think in the
yes.
direction
It's
to
more
survive.
of, it's because it's more of a climate change induced phenomena, to be honest. More like there are more climate change induced hazards like the potential things which can harm a human being. So it is mainly because of climate change, and climate change is very anthropogenic in nature, like human induced. So, and our generation, the best part about our generation is that we are at least sensitized to the fact that climate change is happening. There is a difference in trends, right? So this is the best part, that we are at least aware that this is happening, and we do have the knowledge system, and we can develop the skill system to at least provide solutions which are good enough for the human welfare. So yes, it's a good choice if you go for it. And there's
That
no
motivation, I guess.
Yes, and there's no barrier to your capabilities.
A
You
lot of
you come
opportunity as well as if you go abroad. The European
Yes,
countries
it
they also
is.
have.
Yes, it is. Like, it's not just Germany, but a lot of countries which do have this masters do have this. Like, I just applied to this course because I thought it would be a good opportunity to, like, do my masters again, like second masters. But just in case if you want to go for your first masters, there are quite a lot of universities in Canada, but Canada is a little expensive when compared to what it is in Germany. But you can always find scholarships, try to get work experience and then apply for a scholarship. Because if you're an Indian student, you are eligible for DART scholarship, and DART scholarship is provided to someone who has 2 years of professional work experience in the field. Although there are restrictions on their working structure after coming to Germany, but you can definitely apply for it. You also have a selection process for it, but one of the best like suggestions I would give you is gain experience for like work for 2 years and
Go abroad.
become a dance scholar.
Means if you want to go abroad, at least gain some experience and
Yeah.
then go. It will be also helpful in study as well as
Getting scholarships.
scholarship.
Yeah.
So thanks for your time. Actually, we have discussed so many topics. If you
Yeah.
if there is any interesting things coming in your mind, we can also discuss again in future.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
It was really nice talking to you.
all the best for your studies and
Thank you.
get some good job or whatever you want in your life.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
And this is a really good initiative, to be honest. It's good.
I want to go all courses one by one, if as much as possible, especially which are very specific, because masters is always specific to subject. That's why it's masters.
Yeah, and also I just remembered a question. Yeah, this was the question, like which are the other institutes that provide disaster management masters? It's TISS first of all. Second, it's JNU. JNU also has a masters in disaster management. And third one is Jamia Millia Islamia. Like these are the Jamia Millia Islamia has a mixture of climate science, disaster management, of course. So 3 other institutes which I know and are government institutes, so works. And they're very affordable. They're very affordable.
People can study
Very
anywhere.
affordable.
As well as I also,
Yeah.
I will also search for technical people, who want to go for maybe disaster technology. I don't know what is the name of the
Yes, you can contact someone from IIT Roorkee in that case.
Okay. That will I also.
And just in case you need a reference, I can just provide you with one. I can mail you.
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.